All right, I'm gonna stop procrastinating. I've been BSing. I am behind on starting my seeds. So I got my shit together. We need to start two things today. We need to start some herbs, and we also need to start el peppers. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Peppers, which y'all should know, one of my faves. Absolutely one of my faves. Do we want to go over all the varieties? Even though I already got a video, I feel like that video is very long. So let's talk about it. Let's go over the herbs real quick. I jumped in real fast. My name is Ashley for those who are new here. Hello, welcome. For all of my returning subscribers, hey. But like I said, herbs. Let's go over it. I am starting some parsley. So here in zone 6A, I'm in central Ohio. We are roughly about, I want to say between 8 weeks out from our final frost, which is April 28th-ish, something like that. So I need to get some herbs started. And I also need to get my peppers going because my peppers need a little bit more time. But like I said, let's go over the varieties. I'm doing two different types of parsley. I'm doing some flat leaf and giant of Italy. I really actually don't know the difference between the two, but we're gonna see. So we got those two. I have French tarragon and we have Mexican tarragon. So we have two different types of tarragon. I also have two different types of dill. I'm honestly thinking, I think I'm gonna just do one type. I have Long Island Mammoth, which I think I'm gonna pass on this one because I don't like how tall these get. I want to see if I can successfully just grow one type. This is more of a ferning type. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but there you have it, which is more of like a feathery bush type. And then we have some summer savory. And then we got some rosemary, which did really, really well last year, which I was very proud of. So I'm going to grow more of that. And then we have some zinger hibiscus. Last year, I got these going a little bit late and they got stunted and I never was able to harvest these. So I'm hoping this go round I do much better. So we'll be growing some of this. Now, as for the peppers, I always go a little buck wild when it comes to choosing my peppers. We have 12 varieties. Yes, 12 varieties. I don't have many sweet peppers. Mostly these are spicy, which tracks because I like spice. We have Jimmy Nardello, which last year was my first time growing these. These were the first to produce in my garden. Yummy, sweet, skinny snacking pepper. Absolutely delicious. I use these in like salads and stuff too. Yummy, yummy. Highly suggest. We have California Wonder, which is just your basic bell pepper. Golden Marconi. I have grown these in my garden multiple years now. I want to say at least 4. These grow absolutely amazing. Really large, thick-walled. Great for snacking, great for cooking, sauteing, and fajitas, etc. Things like that. If you guys have not tried to grow these, definitely one of my top 5. Ancho / poblano peppers. Last year, these guys did really well. Also, we have some pasilla bajo. I want to say that's how you say that. But it's like a drying pepper, which is good to use in like mole. I tried to grow these before. I want to say I mixed up the seed, so I don't know that I actually grew these. I'm going to try again and see what happens. We have some jalapeno peppers, self-explanatory, grew these a billion times. Shishados, which I always get good luck with these. Love to grow those. This year is my first year trying out the Santa Fe Grande, which when I bought these, I want to say last year from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Co. Ooh, excuse me. They were described as like a jalapeno type, but obviously colorful, pretty, and large. So tickled my fancy. So we're gonna get into it. I don't have any dried cayenne peppers. I like to use this for multiple things, to dry it for seasonings, to sprinkle in my garden, to make blends for seasonings, etc. So I like to keep these in my cupboard. So I need to grow more of these because I have none in my pantry. We have Sugar Rush Peach, which I made a delicious hot sauce out of last year. Last year was my first time growing these. Absolutely divine. I will never not have these in my garden. Highly suggest these. Pippin's Golden Honey. This plant is a stunner. Purple foliage, beautiful fruit, just an absolute beautiful plant. I grew all of my peppers in fabric pots last year, but I believe that I'm going to dedicate a raised bed to my peppers this year because I feel like they just need more space for their roots. They did fine in the pots, but I want my peppers to get much bigger and happier and all of those things. So they will be going back into the raised beds this year. So hopefully these plants will grow bigger, fuller, bushier, happier. So I'm looking forward to this guy, you know, doing its thing in the garden. And this is also an African American heirloom, which is also nice to have in the garden. Same for the fish pepper. Last year my fish pepper did not do so good. This is also an African American heirloom and also a very stunning plant. These have variegated leaves on them of white and green, as you can see from the photo. The peppers themselves are also variegated, but they turn over time, they turn into like an orange and then a red pepper once they are full maturity, still with a little bit of like streakiness of variegation. So stunning, so beautiful, and very, very delicious to make like different hot sauces or even to like ferment and make like vinegars and things of that nature with. So good. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about some of my procrastination, shall we? Alrighty. Slide this baby on up in here. And I do have my heating mat up underneath here. Let's water her in real good. Put a dome on. We holler at her. Give you guys a quick update on the other seedlings. Majority of my alliums have come up. My bunching onions and the Walla Wallas were pretty much the duds. However, the leeks look great. The shallots are a little sparse. Gladstones look good. And the sweet Spanish are also slightly sparse. But broccoli is all right, little leggy. Brussels also a little leggy. The Napas look good. I will be up potting all of these really soon. Copenhagen, very strong considering how old these seeds are. Endive looks great. Again, we'll be up potting these really soon. My eggplant, I have one up, which normally these need a little bit of heat. So I might lay some some saran wrap across this to see if that helps get a little bit more germination there. Artichoke looks great. Celery has a little bit of germination there, as you can see. And then these guys all look good. A little leggy, as you can see, but all of that will be fixed when I up pot all of the brassicas. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So seedlings are underway. Now, as far as my issues with procrastination goes, I feel like this is the first time in years that I've literally had to peel myself and force myself into getting in the mood to garden, which I kind of shared with you guys that I've been reading more, and I've kind of been like in the mindset of like enjoying that and kind of being in other worlds. But I don't think that's the only reason why. I feel like I kind of have been held back by all the failure in the garden last year. I feel like things were not nearly as successful as they could have been. But then I needed to put things into perspective that a lot of the setbacks were not of my own doing. I did have some things as far as like seed starting was concerned that were like, you know, some hiccups and some, you know, things that just was my own fault. But then we all experienced like just major droughts and like crazy downpours and just wacky ass weather in general. So I'm like trying to keep that in mind, and give myself a little bit of grace and be like, hello girl, tap back in. We love this. We're not doing it for a certain outcome. And I think that sometimes watching other people's channels and seeing their outcomes on their gardens in different areas and their outcomes and trying to compare them to mine in my itty bitty space and wanting to do more in my itty bitty space and even wanting to grow my space into something greater than what it is, and sometimes being limited in my resources or wanting to whatever, right? I have to remember that comparison is the thief of joy. So for anybody else who was doing like I was and comparing yourselves to others and stealing that joy away, stop. Okay. I'm guilty of it as well, obviously, because I have procrastinated many weeks now. But I'm getting back on the ball. I'm getting my seedlings started. I'm getting my garden soon enough. Hopefully, with the weather kind of going back and forth, hopefully I'll be able to get outside and do a little bit of cleanup here and there to just get the garden prepped and ready. I did a lot of neglect last fall as far as cleanup was concerned, which was slightly intentional, slightly just, as I said, neglect on my part. I think I got to the point where I was just done. I was just like, you know what? F this. I'm out. Whatever happens, happens. But I did also have in mind, I'm like, the worst thing that can happen here with me leaving everything as it is in my garden is that my soil is going to have great organic matter built back into the soil, right? So it's kind of a mess right now. It aesthetically looks a mess, but I'm hoping that that brings in and welcomes in so many rich nutrients, earthworms, etc. I started the earthworm composter with you guys last year, which I will continue to update you. Words. I will continue to update you guys on that here in the upcoming months as spring begins to come into play. But I'm hoping, praying that those 2 garden beds that we put those composters into have really regenerated a lot more rich soil with the introduction of those earthworms. And hopefully we'll go on ahead and add 2 more of those composters into those 2 back beds. But that's my spiel. Don't let comparison be the thief of your joy and the things that you enjoy. I am going to get back to my life because I got mad shit to do. But I thank you guys so much for stopping by the channel today. Definitely make sure that you stay tuned. We got a lot more gardening to do. Until the next time, I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity. Peace out.